All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Five Minutes of Mike. I'm your host, Michael Beckford, and we're going to talk about some more about this Nolan Wells case. Man, it's a situation that I'm happy that the black community is not letting go, not letting down, and there's been some explosive new audio recording that we're hearing now in regards to the Nolan Wells case. So we'll hear that in a second.
What did we just hear? What was that? One more time, please.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now, this has been transcribed, and this is the CTO dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored? Is this real? Where's this coming from, Dave?
Nancy, this is coming from from Mississippi, from the actual official. Okay, when we get into the Mississippi Fish and Wildlife and at the reserve putting this out for the public.
All right, guys, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Mike. You guys just heard that particular audio. Like I said, some damning audio in regards to the friends that were involved with Nolan Wells that July 4th day, 2026. In regards to the boat, they were having some issues with the boat and things like that. But guys, you can clearly hear them saying, Nolan's name, is he alive? Girl, it sounds like a female yelling his voice. Nolan, and asking is he been unalive, essentially. And this is some damning evidence because it also to me shows why these boys quickly got lawyered up, because they knew all the time, allegedly, right? Because there is still some fragments they needs to be put together in regards to the case. And I can't explicitly, because I'm not in a detective or an investigator, I can't explicitly say that this audio puts all the pieces together in regards to the, final remedy of what happened to Nolan. But it definitely is some, like I said, some potentially damning evidence when it comes down to these boys. And once again, no true friend that if we were all like the boat was, capsizing, losing water, whatever, we wouldn't, say anything in regards to the world just didn't, come to an end, and we decided to not say anything because of what, and that's a problem. And when we look at this case,
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by the upcoming children's book Mila Don't Do That by Michael D. Beckford and Mila D. Beckford. You turned on the stove without my permission. Mila, don't do that. You knocked over the toys and now you made a mess. Mila, don't do that.
Mila Don't Do That is now available for pre-order. Link in the description below. Here, if this was just a genuine, oh man, I lost my friend, man, I don't know what happened to Nolan, God bless him, we hope, we pray for the family, then it'll be much more understood. But these guys got lawyered up. One of the so-called friends went and had a conversation with Brandon Tatum, former Officer Brandon Tatum, who's quite a clown show in my opinion. But former officer Brandon Tatum went out there in Mississippi, on that same island, and had a conversation with one of the friends. And to me, I mean, allegedly in my mind, this was a paid for television spot, because at the end of the day, Brandon Tatum did nothing but he would ask a question and then pretty much answer that question for this particular friend. I mean, like, don't even give him a chance. No true journalism. That's what I'm saying. It was to me, it was almost like those ads that you see like midnight at night on whatever your favorite, broadcast network, and, just kind of that, 30-minute infomercial. This to me was an infomercial in regards to the Brandon Tatum thing. So in regards to this audio, like I said, that was released, this is a bombshell. I mean, it's definitely a lot of ask a lot more questions in regards to what is really the truth. Why are they lying? And I can't say for obvious reasons why they're lying, but there definitely, from this audio, there definitely seems to be some form of involvement by the friends in having prior knowledge into what transpired and happened with Nolan Wells. I mean, literally, are we suggesting that these boys that went out, these young men, I should say, Nolan Wells is 18, I'm not sure the age of the other friends, but these young men, for the most part, went out there on a boat July 4th, and nobody knows what happened with the friend? That's where this audio comes in. That audio disputes this. This audio that was played it sounds like that not only did these friends know what happened with Nolan Wells, they could have potentially been the perpetrators to his being unalived. And in my opinion, what may have happened is when he was on that boat and he was unalived, allegedly, while on the boat, maybe at this point they threw his body over the water. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way he could have ended back up in the water. And try to get rid of the evidence as best as possible. Even in the sense of the grandfather with the boat, owning a boat, and that particular thing. Like, these individuals come from money. They come from power. They got a family of power. And to me, like I said, this smells like a cover-up. This smells like a cover-up to the highest degree. And there's no better place to cover up when it comes down to black lives and black bodies than a state of Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi is one of the worst states for common everyday blacks when it comes down to the judicial system, because it's never been for us, especially when there is an individual, a white tea individual involved. Man, good luck. But here's my other issue as I wrap up this. The other issue is this: why does it take a media blitz right now? Why does it take all of these resources of media? I mean, I'm talking about from small channels like myself, large channels like Don Lemon, large channels like Indisputable, TYT, larger channels like TMZ, to try to get this out there for one young black man to get some sort of semblance of justice. Why does it take all of this? Why can't the bars of justice be equal for all of us? No matter what level of power that this individual may come from, no matter what family or background it may come from, why does it take all of this? And the issue is that we have, put so much resources as media, because I'm a part of the media, whether I like it or not, but we put so much resources as media into this Nolan Wells case that unfortunately all the other things that has happened, other blacks has been unalived from police and things of that nature, and unexplained, quote unquote, people unaliving themselves of people of color hanging from trees. All these other resources being put into this because we can't have a justice system that says what's right is right and wrong is wrong. So I sympathize, of course, with the family, and I want them to get as much media as they can, and I want this individual case to be solved. But I also want these other cases to receive some of the same type of scrutiny when it comes down to the injustice under the law. So guys, what do you all think? Sound off in the comments below. Hype this video. Do you think that there's a cover up going on when it comes down to these friends? Or maybe, this audio is misleading in your mindset. You think it's AI. But also actually there's an audio engineer that revealed this information when it comes down to the video. But anyway, let me know, guys, what it is that you think in regards to this Nolan Wells situation. I pray that they get justice. But I will say this. And I promise I'm gonna end this off. Listen, if it was me, if it was a young black male that looked like me, four young black males that looked like me, there would already be an indictment. All right, guys, have a blessed day.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
Oh, shut the f*** up! No, we do not need that.
This presentation of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by the groundbreaking book Homeboys by Michael D. Beckford. See what other individuals have to say about this book. Then grab your copy today wherever books are sold.